Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we all have an inner critic, a voice in our head that comes back every time we mess up. Every time we make a mistake, the voice in our head says, guess who's back? Your fears, your embarrassment, your doubts, back again. Good evening to one and all present here. It was about 2 months ago that I got the opportunity to go to the annual district conference Crescendo. Beautiful stage, beautiful people, and an unforgettable experience. You see, they say never meet your heroes. And to them I say, you've never met the world champion of public speaking, Dhananjaya Elyaraji. Now this was my moment. An opportunity to make all my fellow club members jealous. An opportunity to click a picture with him. And there it was. Absolutely perfect. But wait a minute. Something doesn't feel right. If you just zoomed into the picture, you'll see dangling proudly from my neck, my ID card. As you can see, there's a very tiny mistake in my ID card. Now, this wasn't even the bad part. I overlooked this mistake and put this story up on Instagram. And oh my god, the beautiful DMs that I received that day, I realized how creative we humans get when it comes to insulting someone. Let me show you the DMs. This is the first one. Bro, the ID card, since when? What do you mean, since when? I knew it! Tell me also, it wasn't even the month of June. 300 people in the conference, and whose ID card they decide to mess up? Yours. Panoti. That is not the Akshay Kumar character I was going for. They had literally one job. Now this I agree with. They literally had one job and they messed up. But the next year, I don't agree with. Honestly, the ID card is very accurate. Keep your honesty to yourself. But among all the internet hate that I received that day, there was one person who was very nice to me. That was Toastmaster Supriya. She gave me a very nice advice and said, one suggestion, please turn your ID card the other way next time. And in fact, I say, beautiful advice, amazing advice. So I took my ID card and turned it around. Surprise, surprise, it's the same. You see, my moment of glory was ruined. And in my head, my inner critique came back and said, guess who's back? Your embarrassment, back again. Every time this happens, my head would hurt. And this wasn't the only time it happened at the conference. There is this one thing I absolutely hate about any kind of event, and most of you will agree with me, it's the dress code. And if you're like me, who's inspired by his mentor, dress code can be very hard. Same face that I made when I got to know the dress code for the second day. It was shades of white, right? It was so descriptive. I wore this exact same hoodie, right? I felt very cool on the inside. I got all dressed up, got out, and went and knocked on the door of Toastmaster Sridhari's room. He opened the door, and then he asked me the most beautiful question. He said, why aren't you dressed yet? I said, this is my dress. And he just paused. For so long that it was obvious he was holding back his laughter. But he was kind to me. He gestured me to come inside, made me sit down, and told me something that I will probably never forget for a very long time. He said, Akash, in this world, people define standards by the things you wear, by the things you do, and the way you speak. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And sometimes you feel so bad that you feel like running away and never coming back. But when that happens, I want you to always make a comeback. I was so mesmerized that I didn't know what he meant. until I actually ended up attending the event and being the only one dressed so casually. And you know what I heard in that moment? Guess who's back? Their embarrassment back again. Ladies and gentlemen, life will make you feel embarrassed at moments that matter the most. People will judge you, and that voice in your head will make you keep doubting yourself over and over and over again. But do you really think 10 years from now, people are going to remember your most embarrassing moment? Personally, I've had so many setbacks that has made me want to never show my face to anyone, that has made me want to never come back. Yet, I'm here today in front of all of you, not in a blazer, but with that same hoodie, that same ID card, and that same imperfect self. And I dare to look life dead straight in the eye and say, life, no matter how many times you try to make me feel embarrassed, I'm going to keep coming back over and over and over again. And before that inner critique can speak to me, I am going to speak to it and say, guess who's back? Back again. Thank you. Thank you.